Right, Leo. Your January reading has something to do with some kind of conflict. Something you're trying to avoid, it seems. Some kind of conflict that has left you feeling alone, excluded, left outside. Let's see. So in the past, you have 10 of Pentacles reversed. So this talks about some kind of stability, material, it could be financial stability. It can also talk about things like family, work, environment, something where you felt very stable, very grounded, but something in the past did not really work out in this regard. I kind of have a feeling it has something to do with work, because right now you're in the 8 of Pentacles reversed energy. It feels like you feel a bit stressed out. Like, kind of like perfectionism. You're trying to perfect something, be perfect, but it's going in the direction that's not healthy. One thing is striving towards perfection, just trying to be better today than you were yesterday, but currently what it looks like to me, you're trying to overcompensate for something to the point that you're trying to meet impossible standards when you don't have to, because something didn't quite work out in the past. Your highest self, I think this has something to do with pride, might even have something to do with conceit. And I think you kind of realize, because you as a Leo, you're supposed to be prideful and kind of like very shiny, very almost a little bit dramatic. But I think you realize yourself that something that you did has kind of gone overboard. And I think why this happened might be connected with problems with authority, essentially, because in your childhood family patterns, I'm seeing the Hierophant in reverse. And I actually really like Hierophant in reverse because it talks about personal freedoms. But I think in your case, it's more about you don't like being controlled in any way, shape, or form. And it kind of triggers you, and you felt triggered, which kind of led you to acting reckless in a sense, and kind of you essentially shot yourself in the foot and ended up being left outside in the cold. Because you as a Leo, when a Leo is provoked, Leo can turn incredibly vicious, and I think you regret it a lot, because I can see in the desires you have the 5 of Cups reversed. So I think you have already gone through, like realized emotionally what you did wrong, and you realized that the problem was your pride, because in your consigns I see there's the 6 of Wands reversed. And 6 of Wands reversed talk about like failure or falling from the grace, but also it talks about pride. And your highest self is the High Priestess reversed, which also can talk about conceit and pride. So I think you let your pride get in the way, and now you're kind of paying the price, and you understand it. But you have to understand that you're just kind of, the most important thing for you, Leo, is don't beat yourself up about this. you like, you know, deep down inside that you kind of need to let go, um and basically forgive yourself, because with the overall reading, I think you're even avoiding the situation with whomever this happened. Like you're kind of like hiding from this person, whoever this person is, but you kind of need to shift your thinking, because your advice is the Hanged Man, and understand that even though your behavior was reckless, it's not the end of the world. And actually, the reason why you acted recklessly is because you're having such a difficult time forgiving yourself. These impossible standards you put yourself, like put the pressure of these impossible standards, is the reason why you get triggered and then act recklessly and screw yourself over. So the actual reason why the situation happened is because you kind of need to learn to forgive yourself for mistakes. You're allowed to make mistakes, Leo. And I think that once you will understand this, that Five of Pentacles will go away, because your challenge is the Empress, and the Empress is about growth, about nurturing. So you need to learn how to forgive yourself and nurture you, and through that you will grow and essentially outgrow that Five of Pentacles into Six of Pentacles at this point. But this is all about perspective, and one of the things, one of the mistakes that you're kind of like doing right now is that instead of facing the conflict that happened, you're avoiding it, you're pretending like it didn't happen, and that is not helpful at all. And that is what actually is leading you to be in that Five of Pentacles energy. So you either need to face this conflict within yourself, or if it happens with another person, either way, either forgive privately with yourself, within yourself, or talk with this other person with whom you had this conflict. But let's look a bit closer what we can see about the Hanged Man, which is your advice. So yeah, you have to understand that you will not be able to move past this feeling of coldness and kind of burnt out. You will not be able to start a new beginning unless you shift your perspective. So you kind of need to, you really need to make a kind of like an intellectual decision, in a sense, intentionally kind of shift your perspective in order to overcome that Five of Pentacles situation or feeling. Let's look at that Five of Wands. So yeah, Queen of Pentacles reverse talks about a lack of self-care, and this conflict was kind of brought on by lack of self-care, and lack of self-care also comes from lack of forgiveness, where if you don't allow yourself to make mistakes, then you don't allow yourself to do nice things for yourself as kind of like a punishment. And that's not helpful at all for you, as you can see. This has led you into this quite depressed state, quite lonely state. And the way out of it is actually self-care, which starts with forgiving yourself. And that will kind of allow that growth to happen, and it will allow you to essentially fix this conflict, like confront it and resolve it. Because the reason why you cannot really resolve it now is because you lack this self-care. So you're essentially too tired, too burnt out to even think about solving this conflict. And it might even be affecting your health to the point to the point that it's causing you physical symptoms. So it's very, very important that you take it easy and take care of yourself. Because you Leos tend to have also very sensitive hearts physically, so be sure to take it easy and take care of yourself, so it doesn't literally start affecting your health, especially when it comes to cardiovascular health as well. Let's look at that. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, take it easy, because it's kind of like telling me that your physical health is also suffering because of this. And the Empress is the challenge, which is like this abundance, fertility, and good health. So whatever this thing was, you first need to look out for yourself. Look out for your own needs and take care of your health. And through that, you will find the strength to confront the bigger issue here and resolve it. Let's quickly look at the... I think this is actually a pretty straightforward reading, because I mean your emotions are also blocked right now with the High Priestess reversed, and the way forward is to essentially really taking care of yourself. Let's look at that Knight of Swords. Yeah, it's the same thing about shifting perspective. You need to come from that Knight of Swords into King of Swords and kind of have a more mature approach. And right now you also need to really look at your boundaries for yourself and for other people, and possibly even responsibilities. You really need to look at how much you're taking on, and really focus, refocus on your own well-being. Because the more I'm looking on the spread and clarifying it, the more it looks like this is really started affecting your physical health. So you really need to reassess boundaries as well with yourself, other people, and responsibilities, including work responsibilities, and if needed, take vacation days or take sick days if you need to. Because you currently doesn't look like you have enough strength to actually confront whatever this conflict situation was, whether it was internal or external conflict. But in order to resolve it, you kind of need to shift how you view self-care, essentially. Let's look what the oracles may recommend you. So we're having I Remember, Soul Plan, The Fated Life versus Destiny Life, and Called, Soul Gifts and Training, It's Time to Step Up. So essentially what I get from these cards is that Your past does not define your future, so don't beat yourself up about past mistakes, because your fated life is not your destined life. Fated life is something you're born into, and destined life is who you become despite it or because of it. And with the soul gifts called, soul gifts and training, it's time to step up. It's time to step up for your own interests this time. And I don't mean that in a prideful, egotistic way, but more in a self-caring way. Really, really look over and reevaluate, reflect on how much burden you're taking on, because it looks like you have a tendency to overburden yourself, and that puts you in a bad mood, which makes you act out in a way, and then everything is worse than it was before. So let's see, what inspirations can we get? All right. The presence of love will always cast out fear. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. So love yourself. This is what this is telling you. Your past mistakes do not define you right now. They were just learning experience. And through these learning experiences, you're called to learn to love yourself, to take care of you. And this third card talks about how your inner condition basically creates your outer world, because we do not manifest what we want, but we manifest who we are. And if you are constantly burnt out, overburdened on the inside, it will cause that same type of harmful, uncomfortable feelings around you as well, because it will kind of put you in this awful feeling and awful mindset that will force you to act in reckless ways and kind of like muck up situations and relationships with people around you, not because you're a bad person, but because you're incredibly tired. So be sure to take care of yourself, Leo. Love yourself and forgive yourself for your past mistakes, because they do not define you. It was just a learning experience. And that is what you're supposed to learn in January, is to understand that you're worthy of love and that you're good enough, and that mistakes are nothing but learning opportunities. That's all they are. So it's okay to make mistakes, Leo.